Are you looking for a place where you can build a home, plant fruit trees, or simply enjoy quiet rural life? Today, I'm going to show you a 3.42 acre property in Richmond County, North Carolina, with no HOA, flexible zoning, and a completed perk test, so it's ready for your future home. All right, so let's go over the agenda for today. So I am going to cover our 3.42 acres in Richmond County, North Carolina, and wrap up with the 9 bonuses that come with it, along with our guarantees and hold option. And then at the very end, we have a new promotion that I would like to highlight, as well as a free gift. And of course, for anyone who's joining live, as I'm going through the property, feel free to leave questions in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer them. Okay, so let's get started. Now, first of all, our website, if we go back here, is land.gocap.com, and you can find all of our properties at that website. I'll also mention, for anyone who's not familiar with us, I am not a real estate agent. All of these properties are owned by my company, Gokche Capital. So this property is for sale by owner, and as I'll cover in a little bit, that does mean that we do offer owner financing. So just so you know, and I'll cover that again in a little more detail later. All right, so we do have a number of properties in North Carolina. I'll scroll down to this particular property. It's 712 Richmond 3 on our table and our website. And it is actually 4 separate lots that we are selling together. And you'll see why, because they're all adjacent. But it's a combined acreage of 3.42. Okay. Now, first of all, where is Richmond County? So let's zoom out on the interactive map. And you can see here we're in southern North Carolina in the central section, a little ways from Charlotte and not too far from the border with South Carolina. And the property itself is to the south of the town of Hamlet over here. Hamlet would also be where you could find your basic amenities. Oh, hi, Judith, right? This is your new username. Thank you for joining. Hello. Okay. So Hamlet is a good spot to get like groceries and other basic essentials. And you would take Route 74 to 380, what is this, 81? I should put on my glasses. And then you would get to the property off of Peachview Drive. Yeah, hi Judith, nice to see you again. Okay, so Peachview Drive is the public road. And then this property, these are actually, like I said, 4 separate lots, but we're selling them together. And they're in the back here. And there is an easement here from Peachview Drive, and I'll show you the plat. So here's the plat or the survey of the property. And we can send you a copy of this if you would like. So here's Peachview Drive, and here is the right-of-way. And then these are the 4 lots back here. All right, so it's this segment, and it does have legal access via this easement here. So that's how access works. Now, this is a more rural area. You can see here the lot itself is currently wooded, and we can pull it up and, well, actually first let's take a look at the photos. So we did get drone shots of this property. So you can see here, it is wooded. There are some manufactured homes or just homes off of Peachview Drive. So the trees could be a nice feature. You might have to clear a few if you wanted to build, but it does give it a little more of a sense of privacy. And you can see it's kind of a rural area. And here's an image from the ground. We also do have drone footage here that you can see on our website. Let's make this 4K. Might take a second to load. Yep, there you go. So we can take a look at the drone footage here. So you can see the surrounding area is very green, wooded. The lot itself has some trees on it. There are homes in the nearby area, but it's kind of a quiet rural setting. And we do also have street view image as well. So you get a sense of what it looks like on the ground. So that video is on our website. You can take a look at it. All right, so now let's get into some more details on the property. First, I will quickly pull it up. So if you go down on our website, you'll see there's a link to Google Maps as well, so you can pull it up on Google Maps. You can get the satellite image. There won't be street view right at the property, but you can see Peachview Drive from here. And like I said, we're not too far from, where is that? Yes, we're in North Carolina. Okay. And we're also not too far from the town of Hamlet, which is up here. So let's see the exact time. Yep, only about 10 minutes to Hamlet. And there'll be some grocery stores, regular restaurants. They have some of the chains like Subway and Dairy Queen. And they probably have a medical clinic here. We can check that. Yeah, so they have a number of medical facilities here as well, which I know is very important. All right, so that's on the Google Maps. Yeah, it's a little bit cleared. There's still a number of trees, but part of it is a little less, a little more open in here. And we can also pull it up in Land ID to get some more information on the property. All right, and if you need it, again, these are actually 4 separate lots, so they have 4 separate assessor parcel numbers. But you can find all of those numbers on our main listing page if you need it. This is useful because if you call the county to do your due diligence, you would use this number. You give this number to the county so that they could look it up and give you whatever information you're looking for. Okay, so I'll just pull up this one. And we will turn off. I like to turn off parcel boundaries just so we're not showing like all the neighbors' names. It's public information, but I don't know, I like to let people have their privacy. If you do search for the property, if you happen to have a Land ID subscription yourself, I'll just note we did buy these properties. Our name should show up in the assessor records. If not, you can call the county and confirm. But because we just bought it, it might still show the previous owner's name. So just a caveat there. But we can also send a copy of the deed, or you can call the assessor to confirm that it is in our name. All right. So we can take a look at the contours. This is a fairly flat area, as you can see from the contour lines. We're at about 310 feet. And yeah, as Judith was pointing out, these lots are a little more cleared, so you have, a little less, if you wanted to build, you'd have a little less work on this side. Okay, and we are not in a special hazard flood zone. So that's good news. There are also no wetlands on the property, so I'll put up that layer. There are some wetlands back here, I believe there's a stream. You could kind of see it in the drone footage. There's like a little depression behind the lot, but there are no wetlands on the property itself. And I think that pretty much covers it. I'll show the soil overlay, but one big thing that I like to call out for this particular property is we did actually have a perk test done. So instead of showing the soil report on Land ID, I'm going to pull up our perk test. Okay, so we did do tests on all 4 lots. And the vast majority is suitable for a conventional septic system. So that's good news if you did want to build. And we can send you this report as well. Of course, you're always welcome to do your own, but I like to call that out. Okay, so we do have a completed perk test on this property. A few other things from our website, we do give you the approximate GPS boundary coordinates. So you can plug all of them into Google Maps to go, oh, that's great, Judith. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. So yeah, you can plug any of these coordinates into Google Maps if you ever wanted to visit, because I don't believe a lot of our vacant land parcels don't yet have an address because they have not been built on. That's why we give the GPS coordinates. These are approximate, but it's a good way to get to the property. And if you ever did want to ask for an address, the process is usually very easy. You just fill out it varies from county to county, but typically you just fill out a form and then they issue an address for you. All right. Annual taxes are very low here. It's just under $310. That's annual taxes, and there's no HOA, which I know is very important for many people. You know, HOAs are polarizing. I know some people really do not like the added restrictions, but other people like the security and, you know, being in a community that's maintained. But in this case, no HOA, so no additional restrictions. And in terms of zoning, so we have very flexible zoning on this lot. It's residential agricultural. And I can quickly pull up the zoning ordinance here, but you can also call the county planning department to get specific information based on what you want to do with the property. But as we saw from the drone footage, manufactured homes are allowed in this area. There are a few in the nearby vicinity, so that's a nice thing about this property. I know manufactured homes are a very affordable way to get into home ownership, and not many areas, or not as many areas, allow them. So that's a benefit here. So it does allow manufactured homes, and the setbacks, it just has some setbacks as well. So fairly flexible zoning district here, but I do always recommend that you call the county to go over their rules and regulations based on what you want to do with the property. All right, so that covers zoning, and we did have a perk test done. So that is a lot. That covers most of the basics. Just a few other notes here. We are also about 20 minutes to Rockingham, which is just next to Hamlet. If we pull up the Google Maps again, that's over here, Rockingham. And in Rockingham, you have, as I mentioned before, groceries, restaurants. We saw that there were medical centers. There's a Discovery Place Kids, which, you know, might be nice for families. And there is a speedway and dragway for anyone who is into racing cars. We're also 40 minutes to the PD National Wildlife Refuge for hunting and fishing. And Mountain Creek Park is nearby, and that offers other recreational activities. So we can see that. Mountain Creek Park. Mountain Creek Park is a little further away. But let's see, there are also a couple rivers in the nearby vicinity. And then up here, there's a national forest just to the north. So there are a number of recreational opportunities in the nearby vicinity for anyone who likes the outdoors. Here's the wildlife refuge. So we'll pull that up here. And that is about 40 minutes, like we said. So a number of national forests and recreational opportunities in the nearby vicinity. Okay. Now, as I promised, I also wanted to go over our bonuses and guarantees and everything you would get if you did purchase the property. So I know the main question is, how much does this cost? So right now we have it listed at about $46,493. And as I mentioned, we do offer owner financing as well. So this is for sale by owner. We can offer owner financing, and we do not have a minimum credit score requirement. So don't worry if you have, I just like to eat growing food. Oh, that's great, Judith. Yeah. This lot, it is over 3 acres and it is zoned agricultural. So that's another thing that potentially you could do on this lot is homestead or grow your own food. Of course, confirm with the county, but I know that's something that's of interest to many viewers. And it's always great to be a little more self-sufficient, right? You'll have to, as you join other live streams, Judith, you'll have to tell me about what you're doing. Maybe you can give, if other people join, you can give tips. So, okay, so yeah, we do offer owner financing. There's no minimum credit score requirement. And we do tailor the terms to each individual buyer. So we try to make it affordable to you. Just let us know what monthly payment and down payment would work for you, and we will tailor terms to help you get this property in a way that is affordable. There is also a hold option. So as I've mentioned, it's important, as I mentioned, you might want to call the county or go visit the property, and you can put it on hold. So we'll take it off market while you do that. It is $50 for every 2 days, and you can hold it for up to 8 days. That hold fee would be applied toward the purchase price as long as you buy within 30 days. And it would actually be applied to the purchase of any property. So if you do your due diligence on this one but decide you like another one more, the hold fee would still be applied to the purchase of the other property as long as you buy within 30 days. So we offer this as a way to make sure that you are getting the lot you actually want. And finally, I also want to note, in 1 second. So finally, I also want to note that when you buy a property from us, you're not just getting the property. We do have a number of bonuses. So let's scroll down. This is whether you buy with owner financing or with cash. We do offer these bonuses as a way to help you become a landowner, or if you're already a landowner, be even more successful with your next purchase. So these bonuses include monthly landowner Q&A calls. So they're kind of like these live streams, except it's only for the community of buyers, our community of buyers. And buyers can talk to each other or ask me questions. If you have, if you want some advice on next steps now that you own a property. We do also offer a complimentary vacation voucher, hotel savings card, and restaurant savings card. These are designed to help make it a little more affordable to go visit the property or just celebrate becoming a landowner with a vacation. And we do also have a 30-minute architectural consultation if you wanted to use it. I do have a background in architecture, so I could offer some basic advice if you're looking to build on the property. And finally, we have our homesteading guide, our building and zoning guide, and a post-closing checklist that gives you all the next steps you might want to go through once you own the property. And the last bonus that's included with every purchase is our exclusive neighbor lookup tutorial. So that would help you figure out how to get the contact information, or at least the mailing address for a nearby neighbor, because I do know that sometimes with vacant land, neighbors are not easy to get in touch with. They may not actually be on the property itself. So that tool would help you find their address. You could send them a nice letter and introduce yourself. And there are a number of reasons you might want to do that. Maybe you just want to get to know your neighbor. Maybe you want to work with each other to help keep your lots secure. Maybe you even want to see if they would sell their property to you so you can have more space. I mean, there are a number of reasons why you might want to know your neighbors. So we offer that as well. And finally, with owner financing, you do also get our 365-day land exchange guarantee. So in the first year, you can exchange the property once, as long as you're in good standing. You just have to pay another dock fee. So if another property comes up in that first year that you think is an even better fit, we allow you to apply however much you paid toward this property to a different property to make sure you're getting the lot that best meets your needs. And finally, just be friendly. You need to know. Yeah. And finally, if you pay off early with owner financing in the first 6 months, we do offer 5% cash back. Right. So those are our bonuses and guarantees that come with purchase of the property. And again, you can find all of our properties at land.goatcap.com. This one is number 712, Richmond 3. And I did mention that we have a new promotion. So Judith is familiar with this, but anyone who is watching for the first time, we do have a free land giveaway. You can find it on our YouTube channel, Goatche Capital. And you can watch that video to get all the information. But basically, we are giving away a free property on January 1st. And not just a property, we're giving away a bonus bundle as well. It's a very similar bonus bundle to what you get when you purchase a property. So it does have the consulting call, vacation voucher, hotel savings card, restaurant savings card, as well as a signed copy of my book, which is a book on land due diligence. You can actually find more information up here, a link to that. But it's 11 true stories of land investing mistakes, but the bulk of the book is actually like a big due diligence checklist. So you get that with the free land giveaway. And all you have to do to participate is leave a comment on the free land giveaway video and then subscribe to our mailing list so that we can keep you updated. Right. And then we do have some free gifts as well for anyone who's watching. So first of all, there is our 17 simple ways to generate income from land in 2025. I'll have a link to that in the video description and pinned comments. And there is, for anyone who's live right now or watching today, we do have a coupon. It is for North Carolina, any North Carolina property, live in C200 for $200 off any of our North Carolina properties, including this one. So that's live in C200. And to use it, you would just click buy or hold. And if you were to hold, click hold, and there'll be a spot to put in the coupon code. That's live in C200. All right. And of course, you can find all of our properties at land.goatcap.com and hold the lot if you want to do more research. Other than that, please feel free to reach out to me or my team if you have more questions. You can find our contact information at goatchecapital.com. Just click contact. So thank you for watching, and feel free to reach out with any other questions. I will also be live most days at 2 p.m. Eastern. If you want to participate, we do on our 2 p.m. Eastern live streams, we do a land listing review. So if there's a listing you would like me, my team, and our community of land enthusiasts to review, you can join that live stream and send us the listing that you would like us to review. So have a wonderful day. And I'll be back soon with more properties. And thank you, Judith, for joining. It was great to see you again. Oh, hi, Jay. Nice to see you. Yep. Not too far from the road with some. Well, we do have a number of properties at land.gocap.com. I'm actually going to be live again shortly to review another property if you wanted to join on that one. So, but feel free to reach out if you have any questions. You can find our contact information again at gokcecapital.com/contact-us. So, but let me know if you have any questions. And thank you everyone for joining. I'll see you soon.